Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are back with another episode of Further Royalty. Remember, before we get started, to like, subscribe, and comment. And you are working with the best of the best today. We left Big D's ass up out of here. It's your girl, Tiffany, and
Chata coming in hot, number 5 and number 6 from the cookout. Your two favorites. Everybody knows it. No.
Inseparable.
He's gonna get so mad at us.
So I know he is. He's like, now what did you say? Why did you say that? Big D, you are still here in spirit. But it was the one time me and Hannah was able to evoke your ass. We made it. We outlasted Big D. We finally got his ass out of here.
Who would have thunk? I don't know how we were able to pull that off, but it didn't.
You
anyway.
know how. It's Adam's birthday. Happy birthday, Adam.
Oh,
it's Adam's
yes.
30th
Happy
birthday. Shout out to Adam.
That's Big D's old roommate and our good friend. We love you, Adam, here at the Royalty. But it's good to be back. I have been missing for the last couple weeks, but I am ready to jump back into BB
for
with
a good
Tiff,
cause.
And for finals.
You've been missing for a good cause because that school, honey. That school, I am so waiting on my doctorate. I'm so waiting on this medical degree to come through. Oh yeah. I said you've been missing for a good cause because you are going to get that medical degree and I can't wait. You think they can put both of our names on it? Hannah Chatter.
Tiffany, wait, in parentheses, brought to you by Tiffany, Monique, and Sean.
Please. I
found it. This degree, I masterminded this degree, and I put this degree on my back.
Please.
That's what that's giving. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's see. What did I miss last week and the week before? Izzy was evicted, right? No. That was a while ago. But Cam was
we
evicted.
Got Jared. Mm-hmm. Jared, Izzy, because we're going backwards. So Jared, Izzy.
Cam was evicted,
Cameron,
right?
Yeah, but then Cameron and Jared came back. Yeah.
Cameron truly has 9 lives. 11.
He does.
Mayhaps. So I don't know who or what is on his side. I don't know if it's God. I don't know if it's production. But
look.
Or luck. Honestly, a lot of this game does come down to luck and just being in the right place at the right time with the right ball on the right side. It's kind of wild how things all I don't know. Everything makes a difference. Everything.
It does. It does. One little thing can change it all.
The butterfly effect. Yes, exactly. The butterfly effect. That's the phrase I was looking for. But cutting into this week, Cameron wins that battle back. So he's able to resurrect his game. And he puts up Felicia and Mecole, kind of toys with the idea of backdooring Cory, ultimately decides that he is going to stick to his instincts and target Felicia. He doesn't want Felicia to be on the jury because he's put up Felicia before, he's targeted her before, and Felicia is just a vocal and blunt person, and I think makes it clear that she has this disdain for Cameron. And so it's logical that Cameron would want her out the house. But Cameron kept saying, when I'm in those final 2 seats, Felicia's not going to vote for me. You still have a really long ways to go before you get to those final 2 seats. And listen, it's no secret that every time you haven't won HOH or veto, you have been on the block.
Yeah.
That's not indicative of a good social game or a strategic game.
And Felicia's not the one that's always putting you on the block. So she's not the only person who wouldn't possibly vote for you. There are a lot of people in here who wouldn't vote for you because they all want to target you. And they all voted you out, sir.
Unanimously. That means that there's something seriously... It's not her, it's you. There's something seriously wrong with your game. And you need to be able to, I guess, recalibrate and reevaluate the way that you navigate the house. And Felicia is not your number one obstacle. I can promise you that. So to me, he was just playing a little too prematurely. But decides on Felicia. Mecole ends up going home. So that's kind of where you and Big D left off last week. And Felicia has this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yep, that's where we are. Mecole goes. We lose Mecole. Mecole goes home, but she does not go out without a bang.
Let's see. Who does she throw under the bus?
Cory, America, and Bowie.
Yeah. So I guess Mecole must, and we're about to talk to Mecole tomorrow, so we can really get her thoughts on this. But it seems like she blames Cory for the vote flipping, even though it was kind of Matt and Jag that planted those initial seeds and let Cory water those seeds. So Matt and Jag, they're ones to watch, because at first I thought they were Tweedledee and Tweedledum, thing number one, thing number two, but I think I should probably be giving them more credit.
Okay. You want to give more credit to Matt and Jag. Oh, gosh. The credit I will give to them is the fact that no one is looking at them. And I think the whole house may view them almost as Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And I don't think that that's like, I don't think that's a false statement. But it's because they have been floating. I will give them the credit of being like master floaters. Like they have floated more than the Jokers.
And they're rats too. They're almost playing like an Andy Herron game.
They are playing an Andy Herron game, yes.
Yeah.
And they do, Cory was definitely in danger of going on the block, but Jag really did unfortunately save him. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but Jag would not go along with Cameron's plan, and Cameron wanted everybody to be on board with it. He's kind of like wants to be like a team player and doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, so we want you guys to be on board. And I think Matt would have been on board with whatever Jag would have said, but Matt does not really come to a solid conclusion without Jag being on board, and Jag said no. So Matt said no, and Cameron didn't backdoor Cory, and so that left Felicia and Mecole on the block, and Mecole went home on a unanimous vote. And it's so crazy because Felicia also has 9 lives. Her faith of a mustard seed is growing.
Yeah. Okay. Mustard over ketchup. But Felicia, that was such a dad joke.
Mustard over ketchup.
Ketchup.
Put that on a shirt.
Mustard over ketchup.
Yes.
But Felicia sat on the block 3 times now, once against Kirsten, once against Izzy, once against Mecole. She was the original target in 2 of those instances, and the vote ended up flipping both on Cameron HOHs. So Cameron has horrible luck when Felicia has good luck, and Felicia has horrible luck whenever Cam has good luck. But kind of going back to Matt, Jag, and Cory, because Mecole feels like Cory is responsible, wanted to throw America right up under that bus with them, somehow invoked Bowie, which, let's be real, Bowie has not been having game conversations with very many people. So I don't know about that one. But Matt is definitely the more passive out of the 2, but sometimes this game is just a matter of not doing anything to hurt yourself and hurt your position. And I think Matt has mastered that. Like, he hasn't been active, he hasn't added anything per se, but he also hasn't detracted. And Jag has worked his way up from being evicted unanimously to now being someone who a lot of people feel good with. A lot of people think they're in a final 3 or a final 4 with Matt and Jag, and they kind of go to Matt and Jag to bounce all of their ideas. So they're impressing me because, like I said, as of a week ago, I just thought they were thing 1 and thing 2. But to see them have so much subtle influence and people aren't threatened by them, despite the fact that Jag's won like 2 or 3 vetoes now. Matt's won a couple things too.
You made a point of saying people aren't threatened by them, which also kind of is confusing to me because they're a duo, and people are bringing up Cory and America, and people are bringing up, these duos. But when it comes to Matt and Jag, they seem to be like, it's just Matt and Jag, when it's obvious they probably are. It should be obvious that they have each other's back, so they have a final two. And so, yeah, they have final threes and final fours with people, but why is no one looking at targeting them directly and splitting up that duo?
I would agree. Maybe because like the showmans is the low-hanging fruit. But for them, which we'll get into on tonight's episode, people are starting to pair Cameron and Blue as a duo. What? Over Cory and America. So I guess let's just get into tonight's episode. So Mecole goes home, throws those three under the bus. At this point, Cory, America, and Bowie, I can imagine, feel put on the spot. Maybe they're a little frazzled, a little nervous. Maybe Cory especially feels like his back is against the wall because Felicia also called him out after America got into it with Felicia, and America got eaten all the way up.
I do think that was a for TV moment. America was trying to make some television by going after Felicia in the kitchen, and she came at Felicia with a lie. Like, if it was something that was true and you were going to defend yourself, I can understand that, but you are already lying and you're trying to call somebody else out on something that you're lying about. Like, you can, and you don't even have the backbone, America, to stand up to Felicia like that, to actually project with some conviction that you are telling the truth. And Felicia's got the truth behind her, and she's like, no, honey, you're not going to stand up here and make me look bad. And then, Mr. Cory, I don't want to do it right now. Yeah, you never want to do it. That took me out. Yeah, you never don't want to do it.
Wait, and then when Cory was like, you want to play pool? Felicia said, no, I don't want to play pool. I don't play pool.
I want to play Big Brother. That's why I'm here. I want to play pool.
Yeah, pool. And then America just got really flustered. She was like, and then Cory was like, it would not be good for me or my game to engage right now, because he knew that they were lying about approaching Felicia and Mimi for a final four. So it was smart for Cory to walk away.
And go in the bathroom and start punching the air like he was Cuba Gooding Jr. on Boys in the Hood. Okay, sorry. Your turn.
No, you're fine. But that's exactly what Cory did. And that's what he should have done. That's what America probably should have done too. And Felicia is known to be somebody who's... She isn't a liar. Like, I
she's
think
very
people
direct.
Can trust her word. Exactly. Kind of like Azza. Like, if Azza said something, I don't think people really questioned that or questioned her. And that can be like the most powerful form of currency you have in that house. So I think people were able to see through America, and it just painted a bigger target on their backs. And America has the loosest lips out of anybody I think
Cory.
I have ever seen.
Okay, well.
At first I was like, oh, America's really observant. She's like comfortable taking that back seat and striking when she needs to. Now she just runs her mouth to anybody and everybody. But I also think that people really underestimate her / don't see her as a threat in any of these comps. So I fear she might become the GOAT of this season.
What? America become the GOAT?
Yeah. Like the GOAT in Survivor. As in,
okay.
I can win sitting next to you. I don't think... Okay. I think the only person she
Maybe
wins
that's why Cory
is Bowie Jane.
That's probably why Cory wants to keep her, because he feels like he can win sitting next to America. Even though, they're in a showmance, I think initially his goal with keeping her was, she's somebody I can beat in the end.
Almost like a layup, yeah. And I hate to be like, oh, the women in the showmance is the layup and the guy's the mastermind, because that's how Big Brother does a lot of showmances, when that's not necessarily the case. But I just don't see her playing that carefully. And based on what other people have said, I think their perception of her, not my perception of her, but theirs, is that she is the GOAT of this season.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Don't really have to take anything that she says seriously.
Yeah. So Bowie, they play a booth. It's a memory comp. It's true.
The one that you won, your very first competition.
It was my first comp that I won. The funny part to me is Sari not knowing an answer to any of them and guessing every single time, but getting most of her guesses correct.
Right.
Sari was
she is not good. She is not good at competitions whatsoever.
It reminded me of Big D switching his answer every time he heard you switch your answer.
I remember me and Claire being like, but he doesn't know whether I started with true or false. You're like, he's so unserious.
He was like, I'm going to turn whatever Hannah turns. You were like, he was like, you said, he said, it got to be one of these. I would never talk like this to Big D's face.
Yes, you would.
Oh, sorry.
In fact, that's the only reason why it's okay.
Because I have no problem saying it to your face, Big D, you and anybody else.
Okay, so anyway, we're at this booth. What happens next?
Okay, so it's going back and forth, and you can tell that it's between Felicia, Bowie, and who else was the third?
Cory.
There was it. Cory. Yes, and it's getting really crazy. And if Felicia HOH was going to be very, very interesting, and I really think that Felicia had this HOH in the bag because Bowie, as you said, has not really been talking game, not really been playing a lot of game. She's only time I see her have game talk really is with Cameron and maybe a little bit with Matt and Jag. But I know she's a lawyer and all of that, but I have not seen any lawyering going on. But she remembered she did really good in that comp. But I really think that this was Felicia's comp to lose. And obviously neither one of them know math. They definitely don't know how to find the minutes. And they don't know shit about 60 seconds in a minute and 24 minutes in a 60 minutes in an hour and 24 hours in a day. And, you know, the calculations, the math was not mathing. Okay?
Not mathing whatsoever. Yeah. Because when you break it down, Felicia basically said that she thought Jared was a zombie, which only lasted for a week. He was evicted. He was a zombie for a week. He was re-evicted. She thought that week lasted 34 days.
She said this is the longest fucking week of my life. This week she felt like me. I felt like that week was 34 days too. We was on the same page. I understand how she got there.
Felt that way too.
But I feel like this season has been on for a year.
Because it has, right? I mean, they just started jury. You and I were evicted by this point.
Girl, I was at home.
Yeah, you and I had left Todrick's. We had left BB 23.5, and they just got to jury. And we were living at Todrick's for a good, month after.
Oh, man.
Okay, so in that week, Bowie said that there were 27 minutes.
She said, I wasn't even here, barely.
That was how many minutes her brain was on for that week.
She said, I thought you asked me how long did I want Jared to stay in the house.
She must have misunderstood the question, right?
I mean,
what do you think?
I think they all need me, Bowie, and Felicia need DX's math class still. It's a damn shame. As soon as they took Professor that chalkboard out, I was like, oh man,
it's over.
Man. And you know, I love Felicia and all, but even my math is bad because the way we learned how to do math back in the day is different than people who know how to do math now. So if I learned math fucked up, I know her with them tablets using math. I know that shit is archaic. She probably was trying to figure out them tablets that they gave her back in the day. She said,
you think she had a little slab? And
that's right, had, baby, in stone. In stone, her and Moses had the same tablets. You know, Bowie from Australia. They do, like I'm like Big D. I love when math ain't somebody's first language, so they probably don't even do multiplication. They don't do nothing but divide over there. She came up with the smallest number. She said, "I'm gonna take all of this and then divide
it." Numbers work differently in Australia.
They do. They do. Big D said, "I love when addition really isn't somebody's first math language." Fuck it. And it's really over here. Bowie wins HOH.
So I think she changed it to 627 minutes. So that means she mulled over her bad answer and said, let me make it slightly less bad, but still not accurate whatsoever. Because, again, Jared was a zombie for a week, not 10 hours. So that's why I really think she misunderstood the question. I don't know what she thought Julie was asking her, or maybe she was just trying to throw it. So she was like, let me come up with the most ridiculous answer I can possibly think of. What do you think?
Possibly. Because she did say tonight that she wasn't trying to win this HOH. But Miss Ma'am, how did you get all the answers right if you're not trying to win? Like, just get them wrong then.
Maybe she wanted to make sure that the people in the final 3 or in the final round were people she felt okay with.
Okay. She's trying to get Cory out. Maybe, and Felicia just blew it. Felicia said, 1 million. Am I close?
50,000. What? 34 days. Okay, so anyway, Bowie ends up winning the HOH, and I think she was shocked. I think the house guests were shocked. I think viewers were shocked because she is the one person who no one knows where her allegiances lie. I have not seen her talk an ounce of game. Even when she is talking game to Matt, Jag, and Cameron, it's kind of them speaking at her and her just going, nar, ar. That's...
It's not the pirate.
Nar.
Ar.
That's all I've heard her say. So I was like, oh, this could actually be the most interesting HOH week in BB25 history, because I really have no idea who's on her radar and who she's working with and who she wants to work with. And it kind of seems like everyone feels comfortable enough with her / does not see her as a threat.
With the exception of Sari and Felicia. Because now back up and remember when Bowie Jane was on the wrong side of the vote, and then she came back and asked them, why was I left out of that? And Felicia and Sari were kind of like, hey, hold on, tighten up them tears, quit crying. You could have been on his right side, but we don't know where you were doing. And they kind of hold her, So
they gaslit her.
They did. And so, we say ho back in the day. So anyway,
back in the tablet days, the Moses Stone days.
That's right. When you got to drive the car with your feet and start it up.
What?
So, they are a little nervous about what she would do. And kind of since Brown Sugar Babes blew up, that whole blow up there in the have not room when Jared and Cory kind of got into it, I don't think that Bowie has been connected really with Sari or Felicia since then, and they can tell. So I think they seem a little nervous about what she's going to do. Cory and America seem to think that they're in good with Bowie. Matt and Jag. I don't know. Barely here.
You're basically Big D.
Yeah, they think they're good with Bowie. Cameron thinks he's probably the best with Bowie. So, and then there's Blue, who I don't know what Blue is thinking.
I mean, even with Sari, Felicia, and possibly even Blue not feeling as comfortable with Bowie Jane, if any of them were to win HOH, I don't think they would target Bowie Jane. I don't think they would look in her direction. So that's sort of what I mean, because with Sari and Felicia, that was poor social management on their part, I think. Because they probably view her as just so disposable that it's almost like you're not even worth managing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I were Bowie, I would also probably want to get rid of them and not want to work with them moving forward and not trust them moving forward. So I do think that that is the best move for Bowie's game, because everybody else seems to think they have a final 3/4 with her. And it was cool in tonight's episode getting a bit of an insight into Bowie's mind and her game, and how I guess she's been intentionally laying very low and letting people think that they can manipulate her. What did you think about tonight's episode?
I think it's interesting that you say that that she's expressed that she's laying low and letting people feel like they can manipulate her, because in tonight's episode, I see that she is going after Cirie and Felicia, but she seems to very heavily be leaning towards Cameron in her conversations with Matt and Jag. And it's like, weren't you just in Cameron's room when he was HOH? Aren't you always in Cameron's room when he's HOH? Haven't you been like gaming with him and making him feel safe? And I definitely thought that they were closer to working together than not, to where she's now considering, like, I don't know if I trust him. I don't know if I want him here. Well, are those your thoughts? And is that your relationship with him in this game? Or is that what the mindset of other people in the game, that you're saying you're going to let them think they're manipulating you? Are they manipulating you? And I guess we'll find out when the veto is played, and to see if it is used and if she actually backdoors Cameron. This has been such a backdoor season. So
yeah, I was just going to say about that. I mean, that to me tells me that she probably trusts Matt and Jag the most. So that's interesting, because Cory and America have expressed that they trust Matt and Jag the most. Cameron has a final 3 with Matt and Jag called The Fugitives. It seemed like his allegiance and loyalty were to them last week when he was in power. Cirie feels really good with Matt. I know she's a bit iffy about him because he didn't tell her about the Jared vote. However, Cirie has nobody at this point. It's very slim pickings for her. So I think she's like, well, if I am going to trust anybody, it's going to be Matt and Blue. So they're in such a solid position. That's kind of what this episode told me. But I don't know, maybe because almost every HOH has gone home the following week this season, Bowie's like, I got to do something differently. Let me not play selfishly. Let me not do what's best for me, because I don't want to follow in every prior HOH's footsteps. I think Felicia might be the only HOH that hasn't been targeted the following week.
Yeah, she is.
And Cory.
Oh yeah. Well, Cory is the target, but he still managed to stay in the house. He is the target, but he is being targeted. He just has managed to stay. But it'll be interesting to see if Bowie also wants to ride on a final 3 deal, like being a final 3 to either Cory and Jag, being a final 3 to either Matt and Jag, or being a final 3 to Cory and America, because she actually has a final 2 with Cameron. And it will be interesting to see if she decides to cut her final 2 to secure her final 3 and possibly have no final 2, because you're not going to pull Matt or Jag away from each other. You're not going to pull Cory or America away from each other unless you get rid of one of them. And I don't know that Bowie has a plan for that. So
Agreed.
I'm interested in it. Would be like me cutting you. No, they're gonna be like, no, it would be like you cutting Claire. It would be like me cutting you to go to final 3 with X and Big D. Like,
yeah, that just wouldn't be smart.
Why would I cut my final 2 to be somebody's final 3? and know that neither one of them are going to be a final two with me. But we'll see. I don't know if that's the case. What do you think? Do you think that the nominations will stay the same? Do you think the veto is going to be used? Do you think she's going to backdoor someone?
It does seem like it seems like producers are kind of priming us for Cameron to get backdoored. Maybe she also feels like, okay, you remove Cameron from the equation. Now my chances of winning these comps and building my resume go way up, but you're also increasing those odds for everybody else, not just for you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart for you to cut something that is so sure your final two this prematurely. But maybe she's just hoping like Matt and Jag can get me slightly further, like maybe to final 6. Maybe
I just don't know. How does she feel like Matt and Jag can get her further than Cameron when Matt and Jag, I'm not going to say they haven't won anything. They've won a few things, but they haven't won HOH. They haven't been in the position to keep her safe. They haven't like fought for her to still be in the house.
Yeah.
Cameron is winning. You are the only person Cameron really does have. Besides, he has Matt and Jag, but I think he knows he doesn't have Matt and Jag, and he is your final two. I'm really interested in I really am not interested, but it'll be interesting to see.
It'll be interesting to others. So with Cameron being such a large target, if Cameron gets put on the block, Bowie's probably going next to him. And maybe she just wants to nip that in the bud before she has the opportunity to be used as a pawn, because we've seen this season how votes can flip and pawns can go home. I don't think it's the worst move for her, but I'm just kind of curious as to what her end goal is. If I were her, I don't know, maybe I'd want to be at the end with Matt, Jag, Cory, America, and Blue. And I would really want to solidify something with Blue and America, because the jury seems to see the three of them equivalently, similarly, if you will. I don't think the jury has a ton of respect for the three of them. So, her best
it's interesting. I can't wait till we get to next week to see what will happen with the eviction, because I do wonder who the first juror will be and the effects that will have on the jury house and the incoming members coming into the jury house. Because you got to be careful.
We see that.
You have to be careful who you send first
and when
who you send after. Yeah. And building the jury. And you and I know, because that was, people always talk about the master plan and the duos, and that was a huge part of it. But one of the most strategical parts of the master plan was our process of eviction. And who was going to go and how they were going to go. And you were very instrumental in leading the charge on the order of eviction. And you were like, yeah, there's 66 scenarios. I said, look at here, little girl, just give it to me.
It was so much fun strategizing with you every night. If only we can do it again one of these days. We will. We'll be. The vendetta will be back.
The vendetta lives on. All right, so Big
D's gonna be so mad.
Who's Big D? So we've got Bowie won HOH. She nominated Sari and Felicia, and right now there's a talk about Cameron, and we will see what is to happen next week with that. All right,
I'm very excited.
So it is time for Survivor, my favorite show. I will just tell you, if you have not been watching this season of Survivor, please jump into it. Start at episode 1. You will be glued within the first 7 minutes. It is worth it. Trust me. So on this episode, this is called Brought a Bazooka to a Tea Party.
Brought a who?
A bazooka to a tea party.
Oh, I like their like episode titles
instead
of just season 25, episode 8.
and catchy. Let's see. All right. So,
maybe we need Big D after all.
Where is Big D?
At least Big D comes with his own version of events.
He does. I'ma just tell y'all the truth. Big D worked up these notes for me, and I'm gonna be Big D today. So,
Oh, no.
the tribe. Okay, let me tell y'all about the tribe. So this is Emily and them on the what tribe are they? Are they the yellow tribe?
Are you cosplaying Big D right now, or are you asking me? Because
I was asking you, and then I realized you don't know shit. So okay, so there's Emily on Emily
Lulu tribe, right?
Is it Lulu? She's yellow. Yeah, she's yellow. Emily on the Lulu tribe. We've got Emily, Sabaya, and Caleb. And Emily is calling them out for trying to blow her game up at the last tribal, but Hannah quit at the last tribal, and so yeah, she said you don't have to vote me out for me to leave and go home. And Jeff was like, "Oh, so you mean to tell me you're just gonna leave?" And she was like, "Yeah." So they were actually debating on voting out Emily because Emily is a pessimist and she kind of comes off a little antagonistic to people, but she's just very analytical and she's very vocal and direct about her thoughts. And there's not a lot of, in the words of Sabaya, there's not a lot of tact used to get her point across, so she can rub people the wrong way. And so, but Brandon was also a liability because Brandon is not really performing well in the challenges. His muscle mass seems to disappear when it's time to perform. It just doesn't hold up. And
is he the one who fell?
Yes, babe. He fell several times. So they were debating between Brandon and Emily, but Hannah ended up saying, I'd rather watch this from my couch. This is way harder than I expected. It's cold. I have no food. I need shelter. I am a therapist, but with anxiety issues, and I just can't do it. And Brandon, as terribly as you perform, I am worse than you. So I am going to go whether y'all write my name down or not. And so that she said, everyone wants to be here way more than me. Please don't vote anyone out. All of you want to be here. I absolutely do not. And so they didn't even go write her name down. Jeff just looked at them and was like, is everybody going to vote her out? And they were like, yeah. So he just was like, come burn out your torch. Your life is here. Oh, is over. And she even said, like, if there is what's it called? A return to extinction, whatever it is. She said, I ain't going to that neither. Put me on my plane. She said, keep the stipend, keep that check, keep whatever y'all was going to give me. I just want to go home. So they get back to the island. That's bizarre. Get back. It is bizarre. It is bizarre. I had never seen anything like it. I know Jeff doesn't like that. She'll never be welcomed back to anything. She better tell people she was on Big Brother because she better not tell them she was on Survivor. So Emily gets back to tribe and she's calling them out because they blew up her game. And then she's not really taking accountability for it. And I think that she feels justified in her behavior of grouping Sabaya and Caleb together. And it's just, you know how it is. We get sequestered, we get locked up, we're alone, we're out of our element, and then the raw you starts to come to the surface. And I can only imagine how it is on Survivor and when you're outside, no food, no sleep. Anyway, so Austin, he has the code to the sign, and he starts trying to figure out how to dig in the fallen. He has to dig in the fallen palm tree with the X, but he doesn't have a vote. He's found the beware advantage, but he doesn't have a vote until he follows the steps to actually get the immunity idol. And so he's still trying to piece together the pieces to get his to use his advantage. You've got Bruce is still barking orders.
Oh, not Bruce, is still Uncle Bruce, still barking orders.
Drunk Uncle Bruce. So they do and that's what he wants to be called.
Drunkle.
Drunkle.
I like that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm trying to still comprehend Big D's notes.
Big D, we love you. Thank you so much for the notes. They're honestly super helpful. Honestly. But what was I going to ask? Oh yeah, you know how a lot of people have complained about like just the oversaturation of advantages and idols in the new era. does that still seem to be a thing in season 45? Do you feel like it's just way too much?
I don't feel like that. I think that for some odd reason, this time they did a really good job of just focusing a little bit on idols, and no one seems to be out here quite yet making false idols. So I've been very interested and invested in the idol gameplay. Sabaya and Brandon go off to find, and speaking of idols, they go off to find an idol, and Brandon finds it, but then he doesn't want to open it because he's afraid of it. He knows it's a beware advantage, and he doesn't know if he actually wants it. So he gives it to Sabaya. Sabaya opens it. She realizes that she's got there's several different parts to this idol. She's got to find the advantage somewhere. She has this great instinct that the idol is in this tree somewhere. And so she's circling this tree. She's trying to climb this tree. She's not successful, but she doesn't give up. At some point, she comes back around, circles this tree, and she finds it. And it is actually in the tree that she thought it was. And so she did. She did get it, and that was pretty cool to see. And I don't know if there were more pieces to that or not. I got to go through Big D's notes. Let's see. Caleb and Emily are bonding. Emily has already tried to throw Caleb under the bus. She has felt insecure about his relationship with Sabaya. She's kind of looped him, Sabaya, Sean, Caleb together. And Caleb decides to play the game like on a totally different level. And instead of isolating her even more or targeting her, which you typically do to someone who's targeting you, he brings her closer to him and tries to have conversation with her to make her feel more comfortable and give her some tips a little bit on just how to be a little warmer to the group so that she's not so much of a target. And I think that really helped work on her relationship with him and just getting her to relax a little bit with the tribe, because she's seeing the way other people are seeing her. She is taking some accountability now. She's saying things about in her private interviews directly with us that she hasn't been playing this game from an emotional standpoint. She's very analytical because she deals with numbers. She is like a financial analyst or something like that. So she's like, I realize that I've not been playing this game with much emotion, and people are not numbers. These are actual people with emotions. I've got to get in touch with them a little differently, see them as people and not just everything like a transaction. So Caleb has really helped her kind of become more human right before our eyes. Let's see. So they have to do what do they do? An excursion where the boat comes and gets everybody. So they kind of play rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to go. Brandon, Drew. Now y'all can feel how you want to. Between Drew, I'm here for Drew. I'm here for Sabaya. I'm here for Caleb. Drew is a grad student from Metro Detroit, and I am so freaking here for it. Yes.
Wait, I'm just going to look up these people so I can
his bio says Philadelphia because I think he goes to school in Philadelphia, but in his introduction, when he introduced himself to the group, he said he's from Metro Detroit. And I just liked the little nerd in him anyway when I first saw him. And then he introduced himself as Drew. His name's Drew Basile, but he's like, there's two of me. There's Drew and then there's Basile. And we all know there's Tiffany and then there's Monique. And I totally got it. So yeah, I'm here for it. So Drew, Bruce, and Brandon all go on an excursion from the island. They did rock, paper, scissors, or however they voted to go. Emily, of course, is so offended that she didn't get to go because she's like, they just don't want me to have an opportunity to save myself. She's so skeptical and pessimistic that she just always thinks that everything is against her, which it kind of was. They didn't want to give her the opportunity to save herself because they want to leave her as an option to go. Brandon gets chosen to go. Brandon, Drew, Bruce meet, and then they try to have a bond where they're like, okay, let's talk about how things are on your tribe. Bruce is not giving any information. Brandon's giving all the information, and Drew is observing like how they share information to see when the merge comes, who's going to be more willing to work with people outside of their tribe. He's like not feeling that Bruce will, but he's like, Brandon, I don't even know if Brandon will be here because he's feeling it all. So I don't know.
Okay, so it seems like Drew has good reads.
Drew is very
he
smart.
Has a solid approach.
Yeah, very smart, very solid approach, very personable, very non-threatening a little bit. When in appearance, so
he kind of reminds me of Mecole, just looks wise.
He like does. He's got a very Mecole type of physique. Yep, it's tall, lanky, just
glasses.
Yep, typical nerd like, but more personality, more and no dig at Mecole at all, but just Drew just has a lot more. He's more personable. That he's sharing and. You can tell he's smart and he has a way of connecting with people. So they have a challenge that they have to do where you have to, it's like matching tiles together and you have to find the tiles that don't match. And then they have numbers on the back. They each have 2 numbers. So you got a total of 6 numbers there. And so you have to figure out the pattern. Is it this set? It's 3 sets of numbers. These numbers first, these numbers second, whatever. And they unlock this box that gives you a key. Well, Brandon is supposed to be really good at puzzles. That's his thing. He is very confident that this is going to be the one he gets. Drew thinks he's going to get it too. Don't really have a clear memory of what Bruce thought or what he was doing during this challenge, but it's irrelevant because he didn't win. Drew.
Oh, didn't he sit out?
Like, he didn't play it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he declined to play. I remember reading that from Big D's notes.
Oh, yeah, yes, he decides not to risk it. Well, thank you, Big D, for these notes. I was really going to ask you, Hannah, how do you know? I'm like, Hannah, how do you know? So that's why I couldn't remember what Bruce did. Okay, thank you. So see, my brain didn't fail me. So Brandon is really trying, and you really do believe that he's possibly going to get this, but I'm really rooting for Drew, and Drew got it. So Drew got it. He got the advantage. Brandon comes back to his tribe. He tells them he lost. He didn't get anything. They believe him. It's like nobody was like, I think he's lying. They were like, we knew damn well you wasn't going to get it anyway. So he doesn't. And then they're really disappointed. Is he that big of a
flop in competitions?
His name is Brandon Flop. The way he fell down on that, he bounced on that sand, girl. It's unfortunate because I really did think that he had a really good chance. I thought he was going to get it, but Drew was he paid better attention to his tiles. He got it faster. So Brandon tells his team, and then they're really disappointed. The tribe is just like, damn, he told us that puzzles was his thing. He's supposed to be good at puzzles. If it was a puzzle challenge, he didn't win it. Drew comes back to his tribe, and he is extremely transparent. He doesn't try to lie at all. He comes back. He lets them know, like, hey, I won, and he pulled it out. He read it to them that what he gets to do is he gets to remove himself from tribal council. He does not get a vote, but he also cannot be evicted, and he can use this up until it's like 10 of them left. So he's trying to build trust, and I think he actually is building trust. I didn't really get the feeling that someone was like, yeah, I don't trust that he's doing it this way. It actually helped him connect more with oh my goodness, who is he working with? Darn it, what's his name? Big D, you didn't put it in here. There's another guy.
Brando.
It's his name. Is it Brando?
Brando's like the little one.
No, it's someone else who has an advantage. Austin. It's Austin. Him and Austin.
Oh, okay.
Austin ends up because Drew confided in the tribe that he won this advantage on the boat trip, on the excursion. Austin pulls him to the side and lets him know, hey, I found an advantage too. I still got another part to do. And so they really solidified their final two to like get to the end together. I really do see them doing that too.
I also do think that it's just the better play now to come back and tell people what you got, because people are just going to assume you got something on one of these excursions anyway.
Yeah.
Since we're a few seasons into the new era of Survivor, we now have 41, 42, 43, and 44 to draw from. So we know, like if I were going into Survivor, I would sort of know what the format is, what the blueprint is, what to expect, when to expect it. So I think that's helpful. And also, even if you do have an advantage of some sort, I think people more than anything are threatened by uncertainty.
Yeah.
So if you give them certainty, they'll just feel more comfortable with you, even if you are at an advantage compared to them. So good play on his part, even though I don't know who these people are.
But you're right. I agree with you. I was wondering as I was watching it myself, I wanted to put myself in that position. If I would have come back and done the same thing Drew did, I truly don't know, because until you're in that situation, but it made sense for him and I respected it. Like, I would hope that I could feel that this would be the right thing to do. Just reveal it. Because like you said, when you're lying, people think you're lying anyway. And so then, they start going through your stuff, looking for it.
Well, and then they just become more threatened by you. And they're like, no, we have to get this person out because so-and-so has to have an advantage. And like, let's actively plot against their downfall. Whereas like, if I can see my threat, then maybe that's not going to be at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. So we get down to the challenge. The challenge is, it's always a couple of stages. They have to run off the platform, take a stick, bat, baton, whatever, and break their whatever is hanging above the ocean, break it, get the key, fall into the water, get the key, run across this very narrow platform, get across it, climb up, and then the next leg is to put the puzzle together. Well, here I go. I'm Big D. So lo and behold, Lulu has Brandon. Lo and behold, Lulu has Brandon and Sabaya putting the puzzle together, and they are just coming in dead last. And Brandon doesn't have a clue of what piece goes on this puzzle, and it's between Bello and what's the red team? Okay, well, anyway,
I have no idea.
So who won? Shit, Big D, these notes ain't worth a damn.
My gosh, here, I'm sure I can look it up.
I don't remember who won.
It's Bello, it was Lulu, and Reba.
Reba. I thought it was Reba. Now, who won the challenge? The immunity challenge? Oh, anyway, neither one of us know. That's why y'all joined us today. It's either
I think Reba.
Okay, because it was very, 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 very close.
Yeah.
And I was driving and watching this at the same time, so y'all don't judge me. It was very close though. So Reba won. Bello lost. But they came in second, so they got smaller fishing supplies. So they got all their fishing equipment. Reba got the big pile. Bello got the smaller pile. Lulu was coming to tribal. Well, during their meeting on the island, when everybody's trying to figure out whose game is going to be over at tribal, Emily is like, she needs to do something to save her game. She knows how the tribe looks at her, how they view her, that she's just a little problematic. But she also knows that people look at Brandon as a liability, who is the one who's actually holding their team back from possibly winning anything. Maybe we should trim the fat. And so to convince what?
Brandon is catching all these strays.
I am so sorry, Brandon.
No, part of me just wants to tune in to at least the first episode, or maybe even the second. So
baby,
in all his glory.
Brandon is worth watching. I will put Brandon on any competition show. Any of them. Please put him on the challenge, because they will not be looking at me. I will not be the weakest person on my team. Because, baby, when Brandon got to perform, his muscles kick out. They be like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. You will not misabuse me.
Is it like the physicality of these challenges, or is it the puzzle aspect of these challenges?
I think he called it out. He was like, I have performance anxiety, and I think everything in him just shuts down. And I know what performance anxiety feels like now. I did not know that there was even such a thing until there's time for you to perform. And I don't know why he couldn't get up that ladder, though. I don't know. Getting up that ladder didn't have... We're going to have to ask him. Maybe we'll get him on here. So, only thing, Brandon really does have heart, though. And his tribe is really connecting with that. The fact that he wants to be there, and he plans to, he wants to do better at the challenges. And he wants another shot of showing them, I'm going to get better at this. Well, Emily one-ups him and gives Sabaya her shot in the dark. She's like, I'm not going to play it. I hope that this allows you to trust me, that I'm trusting you, that I want to be here, that I want to work with you. I'm putting my shot in the dark in your hands so that you know that you can trust me. And you could also decide to just vote me out tonight. But I'm hoping that this establishes the trust that I'm trying to build and work with on my tribe to stay here. They get to tribal, and it actually works.
What's
Brandon, a shot in the dark is, I think everyone gets one, and if you play it and it has what it needs. I don't know what the language is on it, but if it has what it's supposed to have in it, then none of the votes against you will count. So it's kind of like an immunity. So,
okay.
So she gave
that away.
Yeah, and I know y'all in the comments are going to correct me, so please do. I don't mind being corrected about the exact. I know that you can't get voted out if you play your shot in the dark, and it is a shot, but I don't know what it says.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Brandon ends up going home. And Jeff is still as hilarious as ever. And so I saw Brandon tweet on Twitter that he'd or on X.
You saw Brandon tweet on Twitter.
I saw Brandon tweet on Twitter that he'd like to do a hall brawl, and I will personally pay to see it.
Wait. Okay, so that's why that tweet got so much traction. I was like, oh, was he like a formidable opponent? I was wondering, because I still don't know what Brandon looks like.
Girl, please listen, watch episode 1, and please just DM me, text me all the commentary, because I'll watch it again with you. I liked the episode 1 of Survivor that I think I have watched it now 3 times. I watched it once by myself. Then I told my son he had to watch it. Then we watched it, and honey, Christian was cracking up, and he don't even care nothing about these shows. And it's not that it was funny. I'm sorry. Let me go. Let me bypass that. So anyway, that was Survivor.
Okay. Well, I do have to ask who. I know we're only 2 episodes in, but who do you think is the dark horse of this season? Like, who do you think is the person to watch?
I am really going for Drew. And I really have a love and a really strong like for Sabaya and the way she carries herself on her tribe. Like she's very logical. She's very smart. I love the way she communicates to people. She has a very effective way of getting her thoughts out without offending anybody. And I'm somebody who totally respects that, because I'm kind of rough around the edges sometimes, but it's very intentional. Like I know how not to be, but I just don't care. So I just am. And so, but my concern is, I think because she's smart and she's competitive, I think she'll be a target. And she has a really close relationship with Caleb, who is already a target just because he's a strong man, you know? So, but he worked on his relationship with Emily. So I'm hoping that, that Emily will turn her eye off of him. But
so are there only 4 people left on that tribe? Just Caleb, Sabaya, Emily, and
Sean. Caleb, Sabaya, Emily, Sean. Caleb, Sabaya, Emily, Sean.
Because Hannah and Brandon went home.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the new Lulu tribe.
Wow. So
I look forward to Wednesdays. Wednesdays are, I love it, please. I ain't got nothing else to watch except the Mecole show. Let's get into the...
Speaking of which, the Challenge USA season 2.
The Challenge USA season 3. Now.
Wait, are we on season 3? No, we're on season 2. We're on season 2, right?
This is episode 2. This is season 2. Listen, it's past my bedtime. I just want y'all to understand. I was going to
say, have I been in hibernation for a year? Have you guys already filmed another season?
All right, so the Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 12. Title is Revenge Amongst the Ruins. Ooh. So, Mecole. Mecole gets caught in her lie. Mecole is the only one who didn't vote Cory, like the other Survivor girls did, and they're calling her out on it. And Cory comes and checks them about them voting for her, and them would be Desi, Chanel, and Mecole. And Cory is like, yeah, so who voted for me? Because I had, she figures she knows where the votes came from, but there are 2 that she's trying to see. Was it Desi and Chanel, or was it Chanel and Mecole? Was it Mecole and Desi? So anyway, Desi and Chanel end up admitting that they were the ones who voted for her, and it gets emotional. And I do understand it, because it's not about how you feel necessarily as a person. For a person, it's about how you feel about yourself as a person. And so I think for Desi, she got emotional because she wants to play an honest game. She knew she had lied, and she wasn't really expecting to get caught in it, and she did. And it's like, this isn't even who I am as a person. I just am like, I've got to explain myself, and I'm a little I'm emotional about it because it's me, not because it's you, but they did admit to Cory that they voted for her. So she was like, okay, fine, whatever. They go through this maze in some abandoned castle, and they have to find all of these bags that have puzzle pieces. Well, a lot of people think that there are only 6 bags, and then some figure out that there are 7 bags. And Johnny Bananas, all of the BB people are under the impression that there are 6 bags, and so they've all got their bags and they're all putting their puzzle together. Well, Survivor figures out that there are 7 bags, and so they are all telling each other, and they're getting their bags, and they've also left out the vets. So Johnny is like following Mecole, or somehow him and Mecole get in the same tunnel, and she's like, oh yeah, no, there's nothing down there, there are no more bags. And so he believes that, but she goes back and gets her 7th bag and starts putting her puzzle together. She gets really close. And Mecole is just like, I think she's smart and strategic without even really trying. Like, this isn't a plan in her mind, like I'm going to outsmart Johnny. It's just like, oh, it's off the cuff and it's so natural, but it's so what needs to be done to get ahead. And she just does it without it, just so effortlessly. So she
like
outsmarts.
Second nature to her.
It is second nature to her. Yes, she is a gamer.
I love that.
And just
also,
a
side
thinker.
note, my parents, they've really been getting into this season. My mom was like, I'm obsessed with this show. And they said that they're loving Chanel and Michaela right now.
Yes. It really is the Michaela show. I would be very surprised to not see her again. She is, to me, she just has all the qualities of the challenge. She's smart. She's strategic. She's funny. She's dedicated to being good, being great. She gives it her all in everything. She's scared of shit, but she goes out there. She gives it her all. She even wins challenges that she's completely terrified of. And it's not a false fear. She's genuinely scared, but she continues to push herself. And it's just so admirable. And so Chris Underwood and Desi pull out the win for this challenge. And Chris really needed this because anytime Chris hasn't won, he has ended up in going to the arena or the vote or getting voted or, almost getting voted in.
Because he's a threat, because his social game is bad. What's going on there?
I think Chris started out maybe like a little bit as an underdog. It started out with the blue team winning and no one was really looking at him, but I think that he didn't have the social connections, and so he's also like one of the stronger survivor men, and there are only two, him and Sebastian, that started in the game. So I guess if you were going to go after someone, once they got Amazing Race out, BB men kind of stuck together to go after either the vets or survivor, and then Chris just ended up being that person. And so they had, when you target someone, it's just always easier to keep targeting that person, but they just cannot get rid of him. And so he won his last elimination, so he's back. So he finally wins a daily, and he hasn't won a daily since he was on the blue team, and they had won. I don't think so, because he did go to green. And I can't remember if Green had won or not. But no. Because after I left, there was no more teams. So he hasn't won anything since he was on blue. So him and Desi win. They both want, they both go for Cassidy. And, I'm sorry. Right. They both go for Mecole. Oh, because I got to back up. Because Mecole, so here's what I mean with when I say with Michaela, like so effortlessly, just not even trying to be funny, but just as 100% authentically herself. So she's in the dungeon and she's talking to maybe I think Bananas, and she's talking to somebody else, and she's telling them about Mecole and whatever happened with her not voting for Cory, and how the survivor girls are looking at it. And Mecole can hear that Michaela's talking about her, so she comes down into the dungeon and she's like, so it's kind of like when you hear somebody talking about you, so you like, oh yeah, I'm about to walk up on them and see what they talking about. I'm about to shut this shit down. They gonna shut up when I come down there. And I know ain't nobody gonna be talking shit about me, and I'm standing right here. And so Mecole goes downstairs and she's like, hey, so what's going on? And Michaela's like, oh, nothing, just talking about what you did yesterday. So then Mecole's like, bluntness. Yes, just very direct. And Michelle's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And she's like, well, you were spiraling. She's like, I wasn't spiraling. I was having a meltdown. Ma'am. Synonyms. So she's like, yeah, meltdown, spiraling. That's what happens when you have a meltdown, you spiral. And so it ends up where Michelle just like gets so frustrated, she just ends up leaving, and Michaela's like, yeah, whatever, bye, I don't care. They have some really, I wouldn't say strong words. Michelle is very emotional about it, and Michaela is very matter of fact, like, yeah, I don't care, it is what it is. And then when Michelle was leaving, I was just like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Michaela. And I was like, oh, go back and say it to her face. But we know that'll never happen.
Yeah. Did Michaela hear her?
I don't know if she heard her or not. And I don't know if she had heard her, it would have changed anything about her behavior, because she's not worried about Michelle. She's like, Michelle, if you go into elimination, and even if I was to go, I'm not worried about going into elimination against you. Yeah. And so because Desi wins.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, because Desi wins, I'm sure Michaela feels safe that she's not going to be like a main vote. And then I don't know how she feels about the hopper, though.
Well, at this point in the game, who all is left girls-wise? Are all of the BB women knocked out?
Yeah, all the BB women are gone. So you've got Tori, Michelle, Desi, Chanel, Michaela, Cassidy.
Okay, so really for Desi, her only two options are Cassidy and Michelle. Because she's working with Michaela, she's working with Chanel. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. And then guys-wise, it's Fessy, Josh, Bananas. Mm-hmm. Is Wes still in the game or no?
No.
Chris Underwood, he's still.
Mm-hmm. Fessy, Josh, Cory. Bananas, Chris, Cory.
And the other one. Josh, Fessy, Bananas.
Josh, Fessy, Bananas, Cory, Chris. Is that it?
Right? Just 5 girls, 5 guys?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so continue. Desi wants...
So Desi wins. Her and Chris both agree on Michelle. And then they also agree on Josh. So Josh and Michelle are the noms. They want to make it a girls' day. And they want to see... let me see who got the most. Josh, I think. Okay, so it's funny because Josh was running around crying to everyone that he feels that he needs to earn his placement in the game. He needs to earn his stripes for being there. He kind of wants to go into elimination and prove himself. And so they're like, no, that's very dumb. You deserve to be here and just stay here and just shut up. You don't have to go into elimination to prove you deserve to be here. But that's his perception is his own reality, if that's what he feels he needs to do. So but he also doesn't want to go into elimination. But Chris wants him to go in because he's like, I've been in several times and Josh has never been in. Josh has not gone down there and done anything. Yeah, I want to see him go down there and prove he deserves to be here. And plus there's like really not a relationship there. It was interesting that he didn't put Fessy in because Fessy expected to be in there because he was part of Chris going in so many times, but he didn't. He chose, I guess he felt like, I'm fine with Fessy being here. And so they sent in Josh. I believe Chanel got a ball on her. Who else got a ball? Did Michaela get a ball? I don't really remember. But, I'm sure Michelle was running around saying, you can put any girl in you want, but just don't put in Michaela. Because as much shit as she talked to Michaela, you don't want to go against her in elimination, Yeah. So, she's a beast. You should have saw me praying that it wasn't going to be me going against Mecole in elimination. CJ said, Tiffany, come on down. I said, oh, damn. So, who?
I think Chanel got one.
Chanel got one. So then Cassidy got 7. I think she was, or enough. She got enough to get called down for her third elimination.
Why are people targeting Miss Cassidy?
I think Cassidy, from the very beginning, my feel of it when I was there was that you could beat Cassidy. And so, I'm not going to lie, even when Cassidy was the house vote, it was, and I was scared that I might have to go against her because I felt like she would ask for me if people were going to try to make it a girls' day, me or Alyssa or whoever. But in my mind, I was like, I don't care if I got to go against Cassidy. I'll go against Cassidy. Like there was no fear in me to go against Cassidy. And so I think that just is the consensus, that no one really has taken her really seriously, but she has been proving herself to be strong and to dig deep within herself and pull out what she needs to do when she needs to do it. She goes into elimination against Mecole. This elimination is really weird. They have these torches that they have to hold on to, and you've got like a steering wheel, but it seems to be really heavy, and you have flags going around like a U, and you have to line your torch up with the flag, and you have to set all 6 flags on fire. Well, it's, even though they have been against Cassidy, it seems like people on the stage are really trying to help Cassidy to win the elimination, to knock out Mecole. Mecole is very instrumental in giving Cassidy instruction. Cassidy, go over to the left, go over to the right, pull it back, hold it down, you're right there. And Mecole only gets 1 of her flags lit. Cassidy gets all 6 of her flags lit. She eliminates Mecole, and Mecole goes home. So Cassidy has won her 3rd elimination.
I mean, that garners respect for sure.
It does.
I have 2 questions for you. My first question is, do you think that people should be able to help from the sidelines?
Well, if I'm down in the sand, if I'm ever down in the sand and I can be helped, shout the damn answer. Tell me guide me, help me. I do think it is something to that. It does help. When you hear people cheering for you, I've been in 2 eliminations. I've lost both of them. My very first elimination, no one was cheering for me. And you could feel it. I could tell it. And it is almost a little, it's disheartening because you already have this sick feeling about being in elimination, and obviously you're not wanted there if you end up in elimination, unless you lost and you end up there. But I was voted in that first time, season 1. Season 2, I also got voted in. My ball got pulled, but it was like people were still cheering for me, and when people are actively cheering for you, it does something. It like boosts your adrenaline, like your endorphin. You get all these endorphins just like working in your favor. Should they be able to help? I think so.
Because I guess that would be like a testament of your social game.
Yeah,
it
is.
You might not know how to navigate this competition, but the connections that you've built can help you win this competition. Okay. I was just wondering what you thought. But my second question is, what went wrong with Mecole's game? Because the last time I tuned in, she was sort of part of that alliance you guys had, / she was on the periphery of that alliance. So what changed?
Mecole has been playing the middle from the very beginning. She has relationships with other challengers before coming into the house. She's also a Survivor girl, so she was trying to maintain her relationship with Survivor and her relationship with the vets. And she's telling both sides of the house the same thing. I'm working with you. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Well, when it comes down to it, everyone will make a plan to do something, and everybody, you're in this alliance with us. We're all voting this way. And the next thing you know, Mecole didn't. And that kind of happened several times where it's everyone's supposed to be voting this way. Mecole votes the opposite way. Or Mecole will say she's going to do something for someone, and it always ends up that she's going against the survivor girls. She never really ends up going against the vets. And so that's why they all keep protecting her. No one wants to see her go in, but she is going against Survivor, and that's why she ends up getting targeted directly by Survivor, which is Desi and Chris, because she's not showing her loyalty is with them. She's telling them her loyalty was with them, but when it comes time to show it, she's showing her loyalty for the vets.
Okay, so double agent crossed Survivor. They sent her in. She lost. She went home.
100%.
Okay, interesting.
100%.
Well, next week is probably the week before the finale, I'm assuming. So
yeah, I think we're almost at the final. We will see.
Are you guys doing a reunion?
They've not mentioned anything about a reunion. I don't know. CBS doesn't really do reunion type things. The Challenge does have reunions, but that's MTV. CBS doesn't really do reunions. We didn't have a reunion for season 1. There are a lot more characters on season 2. Might be interesting, but I don't even know that we have anything to reunion.
Not reunion. Is that a word?
I don't know. It is now.
Wait, what did he say the other week? He kept using this one word that was just a completely made up word.
All of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say he does that a lot. But we love you, Big D. Okay, well, thank you for giving me the rundown about Survivor and the Challenge.
Oh, listen, don't ever apologize for not being caught up, because your education is the most important thing in my life, because I'm hoping that I get my name on that degree as well. And so
piggybacking off of my hard work, I'm the mastermind of Georgetown.
Hey, this is America. Piggybacking and living off of someone else's hard work is the bane of our existence.
That's the name of the game. Yes. That is literally in our Declaration of Independence.
It is.
So.
It is. If you see someone working hard and you want to get credit for it and you want to reap the benefits, you hop right on their back, baby. You be a flea. I think we
know a person who does that very well.
I didn't say chase the clout, baby. I said get something for it. Yes. And we will not let another episode go by without it.
So, without dragging number 4.
Well, we do want to thank you all for joining. Hannah, I'm so glad you could be here with me today, because I wouldn't have wanted to carry all 3 of those episodes by myself. I'm so glad that you're here. Big D, we miss you. Viewers, you tuning in, we love you. We do it for you. You guys make our show better with your comments, with your sharing, with your likes, letting us know how we're doing. Join us again next week. We don't know who will be here, but one of us will be. Hannah, close us out.
Here. Okay. Well, Tiffany. The government name again.
Why Tiffany. Would you use my whole name? Tiffany.
You're in trouble.
Tiff.
My voice is not that high pitched. Anyway, Tiff. That was so disturbing. Tiff, it's been a pleasure as per usual. I think this is the first episode that you and I have done together, because you've done one with Big D. I've done a lot with Big D, where we struggle, but this was fun. Thank you for catching me up on Survivor and the Challenge. Thank you for, just, I guess, entertaining all of my thoughts and opinions about Big Brother. Thank you for giving us your insight as the queen of Big Brother herself. And we shall see you guys next week on The Royalty. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We love you.
We do love you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.